What would happen if you woke up tomorrow morning and every drop of oil on Earth, every barrel, every reserve, suddenly vanished? No warning, no countdown. Gas stations go dark. Airplanes are grounded. Global trade, completely frozen. And that morning cup of coffee? It might never make it to your hands. In a world addicted to oil, what happens when the fix vanishes overnight? This isn't just an energy crisis. This is the beginning of a total global collapse. From crashing economies to collapsing food systems, this one event could change human civilization forever. For decades, oil has been dubbed black gold, the foundation of energy and materials that power modern civilization. But this heavy dependence has brought the world closer to a serious threat, an oil crisis. Volatile oil prices, geopolitical tensions in key extraction zones like the Middle East, Africa, and Russia have led to constant supply disruptions. Meanwhile, global demand continues to rise, especially in developing countries. What's even more alarming is the fact that oil reserves are not infinite. According to numerous studies, if we keep extracting oil at the current pace, we could face severe shortages by the end of this century, or even sooner. When that happens, it's not just gas prices that will skyrocket. Thousands of essential products, from food and medicine to smartphones and clothing, will be hit hard. Oil isn't just drying up beneath the ground, its depletion also threatens unprecedented risks to global stability. Think oil is only for fueling your car? Think again. Its role is far deeper and more essential than most realize. Oil is the silent backbone of our modern world. From toothbrushes, athletic wear, and smartphones to lipstick, painkillers, and even the credit card in your wallet, all trace their origins to petroleum. According to the American Petroleum Institute, over 6,000 everyday consumer products are made from oil or its derivatives. That means oil is everywhere, on your body, in your home, and in almost every product you use, often without you even realizing it. As of 2024, the world consumes more than 102 million barrels of oil every single day, according to the International Energy Agency. Of that, about 15% goes into plastic production, a material found in nearly every industry, from packaging and construction to medical equipment. Another 10% is used in the chemical and pharmaceutical sectors. To manufacture just one car tire, about 7 liters of oil are needed, just for the synthetic rubber and chemical additives. Even the healthcare industry isn't immune to this dependence. Devices like syringes, IV bags, ventilators, and pacemakers are all made from oil-based polymers. Even the outer shell of many pills contains paraffin, a petroleum byproduct. In agriculture, oil plays a vital role. About 90% of synthetic fertilizers are produced from natural gas and petrochemical feedstocks. According to estimates from the FAO, without these materials, global food production could drop by as much as 50%. Even high-tech industries can't function without oil. From the carbon fibers in airplanes and lithium-ion batteries to microchips in computers, all rely on petrochemical materials during manufacturing. In the United States, based on data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration in 2023, the average person consumes about 23 barrels of oil per year. That's nearly 3,700 liters. And most of that oil isn't going into gas tanks, but into everyday objects around them. If the world were a living body, oil would be its lifeblood. When that flow stops, it's not just cars that come to a halt. Hospitals, factories, farms, and the entire global supply chain could plunge into crisis. Oil is more than just energy. It is the bloodstream of modern civilization. Imagine waking up one morning to find that all the oil on Earth has suddenly vanished. No more gasoline, no more diesel, no more jet fuel. Refrigerated trucks grind to a halt on highways. Seaports fall silent as container ships can no longer depart. In the sky, thousands of flights are canceled due to a lack of fuel. Within days, supermarket shelves begin to empty. No more food, no more essential goods, not even toilet paper. Because the entire global supply chain, from farm to table, runs on oil. But the shock doesn't end there. The healthcare system, our frontline defense for human life, descends into chaos. Medical gloves disappear. Syringes, IV lines, breathing masks, all made from petrochemical-based plastics, become scarce. Surgeries are postponed indefinitely. Hospitals can't admit patients due to a lack of even the most basic equipment. Even something as simple as taking medicine or dressing a wound becomes impossible. We like to believe we live in a modern, stable, and resilient world. But in reality, everything stands on a surprisingly fragile foundation. And oil is one of the key pillars keeping that system from collapsing. Remove gasoline, and everything you once took for granted vanishes. Not in a few years, but in just a few days. In modern life, there's a truth that most people overlook. Without oil, many critical industries would spiral into crisis almost instantly. The first to suffer would be the transportation sector. Massive container ships crossing oceans, long-haul trucks covering thousands of miles each day, and the entire global delivery system, all run on diesel and fossil fuels. Without oil, goods would sit idle in warehouses, global supply chains would grind to a halt, and the world economy would come to a standstill. Next comes the petrochemical industry, the source of familiar materials like plastics, paint, packaging, and industrial chemicals. Seemingly simple items like water bottle caps, plastic bags, or the insulation around your phone charger wires all trace their origins back to oil. Oil isn't just fuel. It's also the raw material used to create many of the things you use every single day. Modern agriculture? It depends heavily on oil too. Tractors, harvesters, irrigation pumps all need fuel to run. And don't forget fertilizers and pesticides, two key ingredients in boosting crop yields, are also made using petroleum-based chemicals. Without oil, food production would plummet, bringing with it a serious risk of food shortages. And perhaps the most unexpected example, the very phone you're holding couldn't exist without oil. Its casing, touchscreen, circuit board, and processor chips all rely on materials and manufacturing processes rooted in petroleum technology. But no matter how worrying the prospect of running out of oil may seem, humanity still holds a powerful advantage: our incredible ability to adapt and innovate. We're not just sitting around waiting for oil to dry up. We're actively working to move beyond it. Alternative solutions are gaining momentum. Electric vehicles are gradually replacing gas-powered cars, helping us reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. Solar power, wind energy, and biomass, once considered unreliable luxuries, are now essential pieces in the energy puzzle of many nations. On a smaller scale, some communities have started becoming self-sufficient. They grow their own food, install solar panels at home, and even share energy through local microgrids. This model not only conserves resources, but also opens the door to a more sustainable way of living. Meanwhile, recycling plastic, a byproduct of oil, is being pushed globally. Modern recycling technologies aim to make the most of what's already been produced, reducing the demand for new oil-based materials. However, let's be realistic. The transition won't happen overnight. Replacing a global energy system that has relied on oil for over a century is incredibly complex. This process may take decades or even longer and comes with major challenges, from infrastructure and cost to shifts in social behavior. What would you do if the world ran out of oil tomorrow? How would you adapt? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to discover more surprising scenarios. Thank you for watching.